For updates on sports stories across the globe, Aaron Akerjala joins us now. Aaron, great to have you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good morning to you, Rufai. Good morning to you, Tundu. Good morning to you, Doctor. And we will be joining our sports correspondent, A.B. Yomo, in Birmingham. She's been covering the games for Rise News. And a lot is expected from our athletes going into day 7. And let's actually cross over and talk to A.B. A.B., I want to say thank you very much for joining us here on the morning show this one. Now let's get it started. Day 6 was extremely terrible for our athletes, especially those in the track events. What actually happened in day 6?
Well, day 6 was what a lot did not expect to happen, but for people who follow the track and field, you know that Team Nigeria has not got it right, especially in the 100 meters. There are other countries who do a lot better, but it's quite sad that Nigeria could not even make the semi-finals. This is the Commonwealth Games, and you don't have countries like the United States who have the edge now. A lot would have expected Nigeria to do better, but that did not happen. And we'll have Brume's younger brother, who ran the race, but he's a bit quite young, considering the fact that he just ran last year in Nairobi in the under-20s, but now he's coming to compete with people who are professionals, who have run for quite a while. Hopefully they get it better in the next Commonwealth Games. For this, they have a lot to do.
All right, they have a lot to do, but right now, attention is focusing on the super ladies, as I like to call them, talking about Toby Amusan and not leaving out Brume. They will be in action, and we're expecting medals from this pair. Talk to us about the build-up to their event and what are we expecting from them.
Not just Nigeria expecting a lot. Other countries, yesterday at the stadium, some people said, "Oh, you're Nigerian. Is Toby Amusan going to be running?" She was the one who broke the record about 2 weeks ago. Yes, so a lot expect Toby Amusan, not just Toby Amusan, but it's Brume. Those two athletes are defending champions. They won the 100, they won the long jump and also the hurdles in Gold Coast Commonwealth Games. And you expect them to do better, considering the fact that last year in the Olympics, Brume won the bronze medal and she went on to win the silver medal in Oregon. So who's going to be stopping her? That's the question you have to ask right now.
All right. Before I let you go, let's talk about another lady that probably is synonymous with victory, Elaine Thompson-Herah. Once again, showing 10.95 as it was on the day, hitting up the track in the 100 meters. Talk to us about this particular victory for her.
It's something she needed. Up to yesterday, she had not gotten a gold medal in the Commonwealth Games. The last time she came fourth, it's something she really needed. And coming off injuries, the last 1 year has not been so good for her. Even after she ran the 10.54, she needed something to boost her. We saw what happened in Oregon, where she came third, and in 200 meters, she came a devastating 7th. And this is just something to bring her up. And she had to run. Most of her teammates opted out of it. We have Shelly Ann, who did not run, and also Sherika Jackson, but this was what she needed, and she beat everybody. So she beat the Great Britain, and also her rest contenders. But it's something she needs to boost herself, and she did it very well. But start for Nigeria, who came out 4th and 5th. Nigeria had Ofili out with COVID. Her replacement was really not so good, that was Joy Udo. But subsequently, wrestling is going to come in on the 5th and 6th, where Nigeria still has prospects. We have athletes like Oboroju Blessing and Odunayo Odukurore, who will be looking to defend their gold medals they won in Gold Coast, Australia in 2018.
All right, before we come back to you, let's actually just touch on some other big sporting stories. And let's start it off from the war that is going on. They call it the civil war right now in golf. The LIV golfers and the PGA golfers, at the moment, 11 of those LIV golfers have taken the PGA to court. And people are even asking the moral rationale behind this, understanding that most of these LIV golfers, because of their rankings have plummeted, they cannot even participate in PGA tournaments. While they're trying to now wreck what is happening in the PGA, and the PGA golfers do not have any love for those LIV golfers. They see them as renegade guys, and it is on. But in the interim, they're just trying to get some sort of judgment to see them play in the next coming week. Let's see how that one plays out. Quickly, Cristiano Ronaldo, a man that's has actually dominated the world of football for years, but as it stands right now, no club wants him. More importantly, he's having a serious rift with his new manager and Manchester United over his behavior in the last couple of days. And at the moment, he's in the limbo. He and his agent, Jorge Mendes, they are still thinking of what to do. Manchester United, I don't think they want him. All the big clubs have said they are not interested in Cristiano Ronaldo. What happens in the coming days is left to be seen. The English Premier League starts this Friday. Let's see if Ronaldo will be out playing for the Red Devils. And quickly, one man has actually drawn quite a lot of controversy. His name is Aurelio De Laurentiis, talking about the chairman of SSC Napoli. He has said that at the moment he does not want to sign African players anymore because it is what the headache is just too much, understanding that they would have to be away for a huge portion of time for the Africa Cup of Nations. And he said that he wasn't happy with what happened to Kalidou Koulibaly, who is now a Chelsea player, but then a Napoli player who had to go all the way to Senegal, and he was with the Senegalese team that went on to win the Nations Cup in Cameroon earlier this year, and he's saying that he doesn't want to have anything to do with African players anymore. And people have called him out as racist, even Koulibaly. Koulibaly has said that's but he's saying that he's just looking at it from the business angle.
He's racist.
And finally, talking about racism, now the captains of most of the Premier League clubs have actually said taking the knee will not be a week-to-week affair anymore. As it stands right now, only on important dates, which includes the FA Cup finals, the League Cup finals, and the week where they actually speak about racism and the Kick It Off campaign. Those are the major weeks that they will be taking the knee because they say it has lost its gravitas.
What happened to Colin Kaepernick? Can we just talk about him and how he sacrificed his whole career to start this movement? Yes. And he's just been thrown by the wayside. I'm sure he's not short of a bob or two. He has the series about his life. He has endorsements. Netflix, but his career is completely over. And now you're saying taking the knee is now passé. Let's just move on. And it's cost him everything. It has cost him everything.
It's unfortunate that a man like him actually was bold enough to do or to defy the president then. And he paid for it dearly because we still know that the whites dominate the NFL at the upper echelons of how administration and other things that are being put in the NFL. So he has not been able to, he was hoping, I'm sure he would have had a smile on his face when they started taking the knee. But to have it just cut off abruptly, a lot of people are saying that it has changed, it is changing the orientation of the younger ones, because if they see that gesture and they are asking questions, what does that mean? And people are saying that these are people speaking, their favorite superstars, speaking against segregation, speaking against the fact that it's not a level playing field in sports and generally in life. I don't know, it's really sad.
When you look at history will judge Colin Kaepernick as a true hero.
Yes, it will.
Everybody will forget about the owners of the NFL club that denied him of his career. But history will judge him as a hero because he's a pioneer. He stood for what he believed in. Colin Kaepernick reminds me of those Americans that won in the '68 Olympics in Mexico, and they did the Black Power sign. And that was a big racial divide thing. Yeah. But when you look at it, history remembers them. He also reminds me of the likes of J.C. Owen, that when Hitler said, oh, black people can't do anything well, he went ahead, won in the Olympics, and Hitler was very upset. History will forget all those evil people, but history will remember people like Colin Kaepernick for standing up and truly just doing what they ought to do. So kudos, Colin Kaepernick. You might have lost a career, but you have won generations yet unborn, and they will talk about you.
You're right, but it makes me sad. Look at Muhammad Ali, when he put his foot down and was a conscientious objector, refused to sign up to the Vietnam War. He didn't have to pay with his entire career in his prime. It's so sad.
Well, Aaron, I see that AB is still there in the camera. Can you hear us from the studio here in Lagos?
I can.
Okay, great. I just wanted to ask you, any issues about the welfare of the athletes that are representing Nigeria? You know, that perennial problem with kids, with allowances. I hope we're not going to have any drama, in Birmingham.
Well, as it stands for the kids aspect, I think that is set it out. There's been no complaints from now. You know, it's still day 7. Usually, if there are going to be any protest, it's when it's towards the end, and the athletes know that okay, they're not going to be paid at all, that we see or we begin to hear signs of protest. But for now, well, they are just focusing on competing. Some athletes there who have actually lost out, especially the 100-meter para athletes who lost out. The pain was so much. So he is more concerned about missing out on a medal chance for now. But definitely, if Nigeria, when there's any sign of protest, we'll hear that definitely.
Okay, well, thank you for at least that clarification. I was going to talk about the Lionesses of England. You know, they've put out a petition appealing to the Football Association, to give equal opportunity, you know, for girls to be able to play football in schools in the United Kingdom. Because this was an issue, because the FA doesn't allow, you know, enough time, equal access to physical education sessions for football. And the ladies are saying that one of the things they want to do is to build a legacy. Well, in the case of the owner of Napoli, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he is saying that we can't be paying the salaries. And then these Africans, they will go for African Cup of Nations. And then these South Americans will say they are going for World Cup qualifiers. But all the players, yes, from Koulibaly to all the others that protested, they say, well, no player, no African player, you know, would like a situation whereby he does not have the opportunity to play for country because it's a thing of national pride. But I think there's also a consensus that that's, you know, his own opinion. Maybe African players will not go there. Maybe they will go to other clubs, since it's an open market for talent,
Now,
isn't
Doctor,
it?
quickly, let me just draw your attention back to, you mentioned the women and the legacy they've been speaking about. And it's unfortunate that the women have been treated shabbily. They've been treated very, very poorly by the UK government, because it was revealed that the women actually earned £55,000 for winning the Euros. The men got to the finals of the Euros, did not win the Euros, and they were paid a whopping £300,000
Outrageous.
Wow.
for getting to the finals and not winning. And the
need to
women
call out the
that
government.
won the Euros were being paid just £55,000. The disparity, because I'm happy that the ladies are speaking out about the future, but this thing is systemic. And the fact that they do not value women football in the UK. The US, they are groundbreakers in terms of how they treat women in sports. But the UK still has a long way to go, because you would have thought if the men had actually won the Euros, trust me, several of them, not like they need the money because these are all multi-millionaires, but they will be paid heavily.
Okay, I guess you want to say something. Come up.
All right.
Awa?
Okay, I would like to say something. When you look at the US and the UK, first of all, the Americans, when it comes to football, I think the women are a lot better than the men. So it's only wise to ensure that the women are doing better. So you can't. There's not going to be any excuse as to why the men are paid better than the women. But when it comes to Britain, you see the women, they are doing well in their own right. But when compared to the attention the men draw, the sponsorship, the revenue they bring in, you'd expect that the men get more. So it is not like Aaron said, it's systemic, because even the fans, the society, how well are they embracing or welcoming of the women's sports? So it is only when the society begins to embrace the fact that yes, women can play football, women can play javelin, women can not just play volleyball or some kind of sport, that you ensure that, okay, we can create an avenue for women to earn more. And the women have a lot more to offer. The UK side have already won the Euros, but hopefully more is done, not just in terms of revenue, but in terms of appreciation generally for the women. That's the only way women's sports can grow, not just football, because there are other sports like basketball. The basketball in the United States, for the men, they earn a lot. They bring a lot of attention, so they are expected to be paid more than the women. So it's like Aaron said, it's systemic, and it needs to be treated holistically for everything to work out fine for both men and women.
Okay, thank you very much, AB. But the Lionesses are talking about equal access, equal rights, and they have a strong point in that regard. Thank you very much also, Aaron, the bearer.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you very much indeed.